Hey everybody, it's Brandon and I'm back with another real discussion. Liberals, we gotta talk. I'm trying to get more on your side. I really am, but you guys gotta start thinking about stuff before y'all start putting information out there. So as y'all know, one of the big things that people are pushing right now, leftists are pushing, is this defund the police. So I'm going to give you the scenario one of the scenarios that they're having in mind that's kind of going around social media, and then I'm going to give you my solution on what to do if you really want to defund the police, how to do it the right way. So all of you guys know about what happened in Atlanta, and I'm just going to be honest with you guys. It's something that still fires me up because the media has done everything they can to take responsibility from the man who started all of this. And I think that's a real problem in any scenario where we try to make someone a victim that's not a victim. And you can see it from how they slanted it to saying, oh, he was asleep. He wasn't asleep. He was passing out. That's when you call it when you're intoxicated. When you pass out twice in the process of the police asking you to move your car from the middle of the drive-thru. So let's call it what it really is, intoxicated man. Let's call it what it really is, intoxicated man treated respectfully and with dignity by the police, panics and assaults police officers and is killed when he points a weapon at them. Now, you can say it was non-lethal weapon. They have other options they could have done. That's really a matter of opinion. I will say that by Georgia law, and by the laws of most things out there, it is a lawful shooting, even if there are some people who feel like there could have been other options. And I'm just going to be real with you. I think most of that's just politics, and that's what they want to say right now to appease people. Just the comments that I've seen and the reality, I don't really think most people have much sympathy for this guy. But again, that's the popular thing, the poor black, victim, and they don't want to tell the truth. But let's see what the liberal solution to this is. I'm going to read it. So it says, when we say abolish the police, this is what we mean. They're talking about this situation. Imagine this with me for a moment. A guy falls asleep after drinking. He's in line for Wendy's because he's eating some late night greasy food. So they're already trying to make it innocent, right? Not that this guy was drinking and driving. But anyway, he's just drunk. He's been out in front and he's tired. He falls asleep. An employee notices. They call 911. The driver wakes up to a gentle tap on the window. He rolls it down. Hey, I'm Stacy. I'm a social worker and I just want to make sure you're alright. I just fell asleep. I understand this is my colleague. Their name is Dominique. They're going to order your meal for you while we talk. What did you want? So this is obviously some fantasy world, right? To where a stranger can approach you, sober or not sober, and not get cussed out or get the middle finger pulled on them, right? Because we all know that's the reality. Like, let's be real. If someone came up to you and knocked on your window, whether you're sober or not, odds are you're going to either ignore them, you're going to tell them to leave you alone, or whatever. And if you're drunk, odds are you're not going to comply. But let's roll with the story and finish it a little bit. He's like, I'm going to order your meal, what do you want? And they go through the order. Do you mind pulling your car over there so we can talk while my friend gets the meal for you? Oh, just a second, am I in trouble? No, we just wanted to make sure you're safe and everyone else on the road is safe. Can we do that together? I can do that. After a conversation, the social workers decide they're pretty sure they can confirm that the driver has been drinking. They asked a lot of questions about his drinking habits. They determined he clearly doesn't have a drinking problem. He just rarely drinks, doesn't know the limit, and made a mistake of getting behind the wheel. I'm sorry, I've done my fair of drinking in my life. And anyone who's drinking and operating a motor vehicle has a drinking problem. Anyone who passes out at a Wendy's has a drinking problem. Don't try to that's the slant. Don't try to sugarcoat that bullshit. So, after the meal, the drivers feel much better. They offer to have his car towed to his house, and an Uber comes to pick him up. In this scenario, Rayshard Brooks is still alive. He's giving compassionate and reasonable care. This is what community should look like. This is how we can re-envision what our response is as a society. This is what it means to defund the police. So, all of this is based on some fantasy world where unicorns and puppy dogs are everywhere. Because if you watch the dash cam video, those officers treated him with passion and respect. They were friendly. They gave him multiple options to get out of it. They were courteous. And then after determining he had too much, they went to arrest him, and that's when he exploded. So in your scenario, this man who was willing to fight two armed police officers is just going to suddenly be like, all cool because it's a social worker. You're making the assumption that if it wasn't for the fact that they were officers of the law, that he wouldn't even bother to stand there talking to him. So let's imagine that scenario, right? So they're all friendly and they say, hey, sir, you know what? You too much to drink. We're going to take your car. We'll get you right home. And he fights him on it. It's like, you know what? Hey, I'm going back to my car. What are they going to do? Watch him drive off and potentially hurt somebody? Or what if he ignores them? What if he assaults them? Because the reality of the situation is you can't say, oh, he wouldn't do that, because he was treated with courtesy by the police and he assaulted them when they tried to get him to do something he didn't want to do. So, I don't know what mythical version of his character that you somehow gleaned from his interaction, but there's absolutely no proof that this wouldn't have been a greater tragedy. Because the odds are, the reality of the situation is that if he could have been reasoned with, it wouldn't have escalated to where it was before. If he was a reasonable person. All that would have done is got the social worker hurt, ignored, and potentially someone innocent could have lost their life. Like, this notion is ridiculous. Like, if you really try to put it into play, just imagine the scenarios that they're going to do. And since social workers, because if you think about it, if you know anything about social workers, when they're going into a situation that could potentially be dangerous, guess who they bring with them? A police officer. Like, this is some, I don't know, some PBS, let's all love each other BS. Like, there's no way in this scenario that would have happened that way. And to think it does is just someone not living in the reality of the world we live in. But I do have a way for you guys to defund the police. I have the perfect idea, and I think it will really help reduce the incarceration rates. I think it'll help reduce crime. I think it'll be a wonderful thing. And here's my solution. We defund the police. And then we make it legal for every citizen to open carry. Everybody's packing. Because if you think about it, it takes the police too long to show up anyway when some stuff is happening. So guess what? You try to assault somebody, they shoot you. You try to rob somebody, they shoot you. You try to molest or rape, shoot you. You destroy their property, they shoot you. Then we can see crime drop, because guess what? A private citizen is going to be 100 times more likely to shoot you than the police does. And you can look at my other videos where you see that out of, even 520,000 violent crime arrests, that the police only kill 1,000 people. So I'm just saying, let's just make it old West style. We don't need the police. Everybody take care of their own business. And I wonder how quick you'll have so many people like, man, we need police to keep us safe from the civilians who would take things into their own hands. But I fully support it. I really do. I'm always scared. So you know what? Let's just do that. Everybody doing it. We'll have discount gun sales. We'll fully explore your Second Amendment rights. And you know what? We won't need police. We'll let everybody handle their own stuff. And I can't wait to see those headlines. This is Brandon. Peace.